There is a power within you that can change the entire trajectory of your life. It's not something external, it's not money, it's not talent, it's not who you know, it's not even how hard you work all, though that plays a part. The most life-changing power available to you is the ability to control your emotions. Because when you learn to control your emotions, you begin to control your actions. And when you control your actions, you control your results. And when you consistently control your results, you inevitably control your life. People often think success is about intelligence, resources, or opportunity, but time and again, we see intelligent people crumble, wealthy people fall, and the most well-connected individuals still lose their way. Why? Because they couldn't control their emotions. Emotions, when left unchecked, are like wild horses. They'll run in every direction and take you with them. But when harnessed, they become powerful tools that propel you forward. The key is not to suppress them or ignore them, but to understand them, direct them, and use them with intention. Every day you wake up with a choice. You can either let your emotions dictate your behavior, or you can decide how you will feel, respond, and act regardless of what life throws at you. And that decision, that daily commitment, is what separates those who live reactive lives from those who live proactive ones. People who can stay calm in the storm, focused in chaos, composed in conflict. Those are the people who win, because they don't let circumstances determine their state of being. They decide who they are, and they don't waver. Think about how many times emotion has sabotaged progress. How many people lash out in anger and destroy relationships that took years to build. How many people get consumed by fear and miss opportunities that could have changed their lives. How many people fall into despair and give up when they were only inches away from breakthrough. Emotion, uncontrolled, is the great thief of dreams. But when you control it, you become unshakable. You become the master of your fate. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean becoming cold, robotic, or detached. It means staying grounded. It means feeling anger but choosing not to let it speak for you. It means feeling fear but moving forward anyway. It means being disappointed but not defeated. Strength lies in the ability to pause, breathe, and choose a better response. You don't owe the world your raw reactions. You owe yourself your best decisions. No one said life would be easy. Challenges will come, people will offend you, things will go wrong, plans will fall apart. That's the nature of life. But how you handle those moments defines the quality of your existence. You don't rise by having a perfect path. You rise by walking it with maturity, resilience, and grace. That begins with emotional control. The moment you stop letting things get to you is the moment everything begins to change. Because now you are in charge, you have the wheel, you are not just living. You are leading your life. Emotions are not facts. Just because you feel something doesn't make it true. You can feel unworthy and still be enough. You can feel like giving up and still choose to press on. You can feel angry and still respond with kindness. The real power lies in not believing everything you feel, but questioning it, observing it. Asking, is this emotion helping me or hurting me? Is it leading me to growth or pulling me into destruction? That awareness, that inner dialogue is where transformation begins. There will be days when the pressure is immense. When people disappoint you, when you're misunderstood, unappreciated, and overlooked. When fear tries to paralyze you. But those are the moments that define you. Anyone can be calm when everything's going well. The real test is who you are when it's not. Can you stay composed when others lose control? Can you stay kind when others are cruel? Can you stay strong when everything in you wants to collapse? That is emotional mastery. That is leadership. That is what builds unbreakable people. Your ability to stay in control determines your ability to make good decisions, and good decisions compound. When you're calm, you listen better. You see clearer, you respond wiser, you don't burn bridges, you don't say things you'll regret, you don't act out of impulse, you act with intention, and that creates a life of stability, of growth, and of peace. You begin to attract better people, better opportunities, and better outcomes, not because the world changed, but because you did. You don't need to yell to be heard. You don't need to fight to win. You don't need to react to prove your worth. Silence can be power. Stillness can be strength. Emotional control isn't weakness. It's the highest form of discipline. It's choosing to be the bigger person even when it's hard. It's knowing you could retaliate but choosing peace. It's walking away not because you're afraid, but because you value your energy. That's wisdom. That's strength. How many people let a bad 5 minutes ruin their whole day? How many people let a single comment steal their joy? How many people let the past keep them in chains? That is the cost of emotional impulsivity. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can rise above. You can reprogram how you respond. You can train your mind to pause, to reflect, and to move with purpose. Emotional control is not about never feeling. It's about feeling deeply and still choosing wisely. You have more control than you think. You are not your anger. You are not your sadness. You are not your anxiety. You are the one observing those feelings, and because you can observe them, you can outgrow them. You can rise above them. You can take the lessons they offer without letting them control your life. Every emotion is a signal, not a command. It's information, not a verdict, and you get to decide what to do with it. This is your moment to decide who you're going to be. Are you going to be a prisoner to your emotions, or are you going to be the master of them? Are you going to let circumstances shape you, or are you going to shape your response to every circumstance? Life is too short to live at the mercy of how you feel in the moment. Learn to discipline your emotions, and you'll discover a level of freedom most people never experience. There is a version of you that is calm under pressure, composed in conflict, focused in chaos, and unshakable in the storm. That version exists. It's not a fantasy. It's the result of work, of practice, of making better choices, one moment at a time. It's built in the quiet moments when you choose to breathe instead of break, when you choose to listen instead of lash out, when you choose to walk away instead of wage war. It's built in the discipline of choosing who you want to be over how you feel in the moment. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. And in that response lies your power. That's what makes some people extraordinary. Not because life is easier for them, but because they don't let life shake them. They've trained themselves to rise no matter what. They've learned that their emotions are servants, not masters. And so they lead with strength, not reaction, with purpose, not panic. If you want to change your life, change your emotional habits. Change the way you deal with stress. Change the way you respond to criticism. Change the way you handle pressure, disappointment, and failure. Those moments, those emotional crossroads, are where your life path is chosen. Choose calm, choose discipline, choose strength. Choose to control what you can and let go of what you can't. That's how peace is born. That's how power is cultivated. You don't have to explode every time you're upset. You don't have to fall apart every time you're hurt. You don't have to run every time you're afraid. You can sit with discomfort. You can face pain. You can endure pressure. You're stronger than you think. You're more capable than you believe. And the more you practice emotional control, the more your confidence grows. You realize you can handle anything, not because life gets easier, but because you get better. Every time you stay calm when you used to explode, that's growth. Every time you show kindness when you're provoked, that's maturity. Every time you keep moving when fear screams at you to stop, that's power. Every time you smile when things go wrong, that's mastery. That's how you become someone who can't be shaken, because you've built your foundation not on fleeting feelings, but on unwavering discipline. Emotions are part of the human experience, but they are not the rulers of your destiny. Use them, but don't be used by them. Let them guide you, but not govern you. Let them inform you, but not imprison you. You are more than your mood. You are more than your triggers. You are more than your reactions. You are the author of your response, and your response shapes your reality. Every time you take control of your emotions, you take control of your life. Every time you pause instead of panic, every time you breathe instead of burst, every time you rise instead of retaliate, you build a life that's strong, steady, and unstoppable. You become someone who thrives no matter what, who leads no matter the storm, who wins not because life is easy, but because you are unwavering. Don't wait for life to be perfect to be at peace. Be at peace anyway. Don't wait for people to treat you right to stay kind. Stay kind anyway. Don't wait for everything to make sense to keep moving forward. Move forward anyway. That's emotional strength. That's personal power. That's what sets champions apart. You've been given the incredible gift of choice. Use it. Choose strength. Choose calm. Choose discipline. Choose the higher road. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Because the person who can control their emotions can control their future. And that person, strong, steady, unshakable, is you. So rise, breathe, lead, choose. Control your emotions, and you will control your life. Not just for a moment, but for good. Not just in theory, but in truth. And in that truth you will find power. You will find peace. And you will find the life you were always meant to live. Because mastery over emotions is a lifelong pursuit, not a one-time achievement. You don't wake up one day immune to anger, fear, or sadness. You evolve daily by consistently choosing how you want to feel, how you want to respond, and who you want to be. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. The goal is to respond 1% better than yesterday, to stay calm a little longer, to be patient a little deeper, to forgive a little faster. These small wins add up. They build character. They develop grit. They shape you into someone others admire, someone they can count on, not because you've never struggled, but because you've learned how to struggle with grace. There's an inner warrior inside you who doesn't panic, doesn't quit, and doesn't break down when life gets heavy. That warrior isn't born from comfort. It's born from battles, from moments you wanted to scream but stayed silent, from times you felt like quitting but pushed through, from nights you cried but got up anyway. Emotional control is forged in adversity. Every painful moment is a chance to practice, a chance to grow, a chance to build the strength that will carry you through every chapter of life. And make no mistake, emotional mastery is rare. Most people leave on impulse. They say what they want when they want, act on every feeling, and wonder why life feels chaotic. But you're not most people. You're here because you want something more. You want peace that isn't shaken by storms, confidence that isn't dependent on approval, power that isn't about domination but direction, and that only comes when you decide that your emotions will serve you, not sabotage you. Look around. The people who stand tall in the world, the ones who lead, inspire, and influence, what sets them apart, it's not just intelligence or charisma, it's emotional maturity. It's their ability to think clearly under pressure, to speak with clarity when others shout in confusion, to respond with thoughtfulness when everyone else is reacting in fear. You can become that person. Not by pretending you don't feel, but by learning how to manage what you feel. That doesn't mean you never feel frustration or fear or sadness. It means you don't let those feelings define you. You acknowledge them, you learn from them, and then you decide, what now? What's the next best step? What action aligns with who I want to become? That level of self-command is rare, but it's available to anyone willing to work for it. Start small. Practice when the stakes are low so you're ready when they're high. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic, breathe. The next time you're criticized unfairly, stay calm. The next time you feel overwhelmed, pause. Not everything requires a reaction. Not every comment needs a reply. Not every situation demands your emotional energy. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away, stay still, and guard your peace like your life depends on it. because in many ways it does. Peace isn't the absence of emotion, it's the presence of self-control in the midst of emotion. Imagine the power of being in any room, any conversation, any conflict, and staying composed. Imagine the advantage you'd have if nothing could shake your inner calm. That kind of strength is magnetic. It earns respect. It creates space for clarity, creativity, and courage. Think about your future. Think about the life you want to build, relationships that thrive, a career that fulfills you, a reputation of strength, reliability, and wisdom. Every bit of that future hinges on your ability to manage what you feel, because people trust those who stay grounded. Opportunities come to those who remain steady. And life opens up to those who don't lose themselves in every passing emotion. No one else can do this work for you. You can read every book, listen to every podcast, watch every video, but at the end of the day, the choice is yours. You either let your emotions control you, or you rise above them. You either stay a prisoner of mood, or you break free. You either repeat the same destructive patterns, or you create new, empowering ones. The power is already in you. You just have to claim it, and it's not about denying your humanity. It's about embracing the highest form of it. Emotional control is not about becoming numb. It's about becoming wise. It's about seeing your feelings for what they are, signals, not commands, and learning how to navigate them with intention. Feel deeply, yes, but choose wisely. That's what makes you unstoppable. Think of every great leader, every high performer, every individual who has left a lasting impact. They weren't perfect, but they were composed. They knew how to control the storm within, so they could lead others through the storm around them. That's what you're capable of. You're capable of being someone others can count on, someone who doesn't fold under pressure, someone who brings peace to chaos, not because life is easy, but because you've done the inner work. And when you master this one skill, this ability to control your emotions, you unlock everything else. You become more disciplined because you no longer give in to temptation. You become more focused because you don't let distraction rule you. You become more respected because you respond with maturity. You become more resilient because you don't crumble at the first sign of struggle. Emotional control is the gateway to every other strength. So let this be the moment you draw the line, the moment you say, no more living at the mercy of mood, no more being controlled by what others say or do, no more reacting without thinking. From this moment forward, I take back my power. I take command of how I feel, how I respond, and who I become. I will be calm when it's hard. I will be kind when it's undeserved. I will be steady when the world is shaking, because that's who I choose to be. That's the life I choose to build. And when people ask how you did it, how you stayed strong through the storm, how you kept going when everything was against you, how you never lost your peace in the face of pressure, you'll be able to say, I didn't let my emotions run my life. I chose my response. I led myself first. I stayed in control, and that made all the difference, because in the end, that's what true strength looks like. Not force, not rage, not power over others, but power over self. The ability to feel everything and still choose the higher road. That's what builds a life worth living. That's what makes you unstoppable. Control your emotions, and you control your life. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your impulses. You are the one who chooses who you become from this moment on. So choose strength, choose calm, choose control. And never look back when you look around at those who seem to be achieving greatness, enduring trials, and emerging from setbacks stronger than ever. You might think they're made of something different, something rare. But the truth is, what sets them apart is not some secret advantage or magic formula. It's their ability to manage themselves from within. It's their discipline in emotional control. They feel fear just like you. They get frustrated. They get disappointed. But they do not live there. They do not unpack their bags in anger or pitch tents in despair. They feel it, face it, and move forward anyway. Emotional control doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means channeling them into power. It means turning frustration into fuel. It means transforming disappointment into determination. It means using fear as a flashlight, not a stop sign. You don't run from your emotions. You rise above them. You turn every reaction into a response. You become thoughtful, intentional, and strategic. That's the secret weapon of all great achievers. They don't let emotions hijack their mission, and you have that power too. Right now, you don't need to wait. You don't need more time. You don't need permission. You need only to decide that how you feel will no longer dictate how you act, that the quality of your life is too important to hand over to temporary emotions, that your goals matter more than your moods, that your future is more valuable than your frustration. And when you commit to that level of discipline, life starts moving differently for you. Doors open. People listen, momentum builds, because you've taken control of the one thing that influences everything else yourself. Life will not stop testing you. That's a promise. But how you respond to those tests determines everything. Will you let that comment ruin your day? Will you let that delay derail your discipline? Will you let that setback swallow your self-belief? Or will you breathe, reset, and respond with strength? Because every situation gives you a chance to practice. Every challenge is an opportunity to sharpen your skill, and the more you practice emotional control, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, it's not effort, it's identity, it's not struggle, it's second nature. And here's something else. Emotional control isn't just about your external life. It's about your inner world too. It's about mental peace, about quiet confidence, about looking in the mirror and knowing you kept your cool when it counted. That you didn't let temporary emotions create permanent damage. That you didn't lose yourself in the heat of the moment. That you chose maturity over mayhem. That you led with grace instead of reaction. That kind of self-respect is priceless. It becomes the foundation of a powerful, peaceful life. Because every time you lose control, you give your power away to people, to problems, to the past. But every time you hold steady, you reclaim it. You send a message to yourself and to the world that you are in charge, that you are the one deciding how your story unfolds, that no one and nothing can shake you out of alignment with who you are becoming. That's where true power begins, not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. There is a level of growth waiting for you that you can only access by controlling your emotions. A version of yourself you haven't met yet, a stronger, wiser, more focused you, is waiting on the other side of restraint, patience, and presence. But you'll never meet that version if you keep giving in to every irritation, every urge, every fleeting feeling. Discipline is the bridge, stillness is the doorway, self-command is the key, and yes, people will test you, life will provoke you, but that's not a curse, it's training. Every challenge is a classroom. Every offense is a teacher. Every obstacle is a lesson. The question is not, why is this happening? But what is this shaping in me? Because nothing is wasted, not even your worst day, not even your darkest hour. When you choose to respond with emotional control, you turn pain into power. You turn pressure into preparation. You turn storms into stepping stones. Imagine a life where nothing could throw you off course, where you could face chaos with clarity, where you could respond to setbacks with strategy instead of panic, where no matter what came your way, you remained grounded, focused, and forward. Moving, that's not fantasy. That's what happens when emotional control becomes your habit, when maturity becomes your mindset, when strength becomes your standard. You have to want this more than you want the satisfaction of reacting. Because sure, yelling might feel good in the moment. Spite might feel justified. Blame might give you relief. But those moments of emotional indulgence cost you more than they give. They rob you of your focus. your peace, your reputation, your progress, and nothing is worth trading your future for a feeling. Nothing. So next time the wave of emotion rises, pause, remember who you are, remember what you're building. Remember the life you're fighting for. Breathe before you speak, reflect before you act, respond instead of reacting, and if you slip, reset, learn, improve, don't shame yourself, train yourself. Mastery isn't about never falling, it's about rising faster, smarter, stronger every time you do. There will come a day when your emotional control will save something you care about deeply, a relationship, a goal, an opportunity, a reputation. That day will come, and you'll be grateful for every moment you chose to build this strength. Because when the pressure is highest, your preparation will shine, and others will wonder how you kept your composure, how you stayed centered, and the answer will be simple: you practiced, you trained. You chose. Every day, in the small things, you built yourself into someone who cannot be shaken. Because in the end, the most successful people, the most respected people, the most fulfilled people, they all have this in common: they don't let their emotions run the show. They lead from within, they govern themselves, and that self-governance becomes the foundation of everything great in their lives. You have that power, you can build that life, not someday, today, right now. Control your emotions and you control your decisions. Control your decisions and you control your habits. Control your habits and you control your future. It all begins with one choice: your response. Make it count. Let your calm be your weapon. Let your discipline be your edge. Let your silence speak volumes. Let your control become your crown. Your best life is on the other side of emotional mastery. Step into it, own it, live it,